ask each of them a question. After they answer, we'll still continue the Q&A because he is the lead researcher. He's still here. Please, is it making sense? Wonderful. Well, before I do that, I'd like to acknowledge the second vice president of ESPA, who is also the CEO of J. Stanley Owusu, William Stanley Owusu. He's here. Can you give us a wave? Thank you so much for being here. Put your hands together for him. Please, is the program making sense? Are you learning something? It's going well. Okay. Sometimes when you are here, you don't know. I'd like to acknowledge the MP for Cape Coast North. Cape Coast North. Put your hands together for MP for Cape Coast North. There's an MP here. I don't know your constituency. Bekwai. Oh, MP for Bekwai. Oh, Deputy Ranking for Water and Sanitation. Put your hands together for him. Thank you very much. And I think the point made about the fact that this is almost the first time we have research that may impact policy is a very important point. And I want us to put hands together for ourselves for putting this together. It's been really good. Environmental Service Providers Association, what is your general response to what has been said? We've seen the research. It's clear that more investment, targeted investment is needed in the sector. But you are private sector players. How welcoming is this research for you? And what are your initial thoughts? Madam Amma.
Thank you, Bernard. As you all witnessed this morning, it tells you that waste management or sanitation is a key economic indicator. We are now looking at sanitation from an economic perspective. And you could easily tell that indeed, if government is committed and we have more resources channeled into the sector, we would have our economy improving. It means sanitation is an economic indicator. It cuts across all our sectors. Our health will improve, tourism will improve. Let's take job opportunities. If indeed we are going to look at what Mr. Tokuli talked about, we're going into recycling. Today, if Ghana as a nation, we are committed to recycling, what is going to happen? It means there will be job for the youth, employment. Even let's just take from the point of generation to collection, treatment, recycling. And then we are just looking at the R's: recycling, reuse, repurpose, remanufacture, repair. Let's take all this sector. Even the recycling. Imagine we have an industrial hub, a recycling facility in all the 60 regions. What is going to happen to our economy? We are going to have our gross GDP increase because there will be enough job creation. Let's take Rwanda, for example. Why is Rwanda attractive? Why would a lot of people go there? Because it's claimed that it is clean. So as a country, if we can invest into our sector and our country will be clean, what is going to happen? We'll have a lot of tourism. When tourism is happening, what is going to happen? Increased foreign exchange. What is it going to do to our economy? We'll have a lot of foreign income coming in. And obviously, our economy will improve. So sanitation is interrelated. We can never have our economy improve without we taking sanitation as a key indicator that government needs to consider. Because it comes across. So it comes across as an economic indicator that we need to look at.
Thank you very much, Amma. I'd like to bring in the engineer from the Ministry of Sanitation. I didn't know there was a ministry like that. Well, I'm reading what they've written in front of me. So you are with local government now. Okay. So what are your general reactions to what you've heard as a Minister of Local Government? And what kind of partnerships do you see going forward to increase investment in sanitation and waste management? Engineer Bwedi. Oh, guys.
All right. Thank you. And it's fun to be here because there is a lot of learning and there is a lot of interest we are seeing. But most importantly, Bernard, I would like to start from painting how an ideal system should be like.
Okay.
Then I could come to what the system currently looks like. Then we can take it from there.
All right.
So the ideal system often operates that you have a ministry that sets the policy direction. You have a regulator that approves tariffs, sets standards, and license operators and facilities. Then you have the MMDA that contracts service providers or operators.
Okay.
Then you have the operator that deliver on the service. Then you have the regulator that certifies the performance of work done by the service provider or the operator.
Okay.
Then you have a dedicated fund that disburses payment for based on the certification issued.
Okay.
Then finally, the regulator comes in to enforce any non-compliance if needed.
Correct.
So that is the ideal system. If you look at different sectors of the economy in this country, you have the ministry. So for instance, if you pick education, they have education, district education offices. For health, district health offices. They still have the ministry.
Yes.
Yet in between the policy and the operations, you have for health 26 agencies with numerous of them being regulators, regulating different aspects of the services.
Correct.
Regulating even up to blood tissues. If you come to education, there are 10 agencies in between the ministry and the district education offices, regulating different aspects of the education.
Good.
Now, if you pick the sanitation and waste management sector, you have the ministry, you have the MMDAs, you have zero regulator. So that is the first admission.
There's no regulator.
No regulator. And oftentimes people confuse the work of EPA. Sometimes they bring PURC and others. But you see, the role of EPA is very focused on pollution, which is incidental to the environment. And so that's why they issue permits and not licenses. And so we could go on and on, but it has to be said that we have a missing link.
So in the sanitation sector, between the ministry and the MMDA, there is no single regulator.
No.
Wow.
Zero. So that is the first point to be made. If you look at the policies, we have all the policies. In fact, according to one colleague who works at the World Bank, he said that per the last count, he had over 100 policies, programs, and plans in the sanitation and waste management landscape alone. 100
policies?
Over 100. So that is the first point.
Okay.
When it comes to private sector participation, we have, this is one of the sector that has the heaviest, one of the heaviest private sector participation. Now let me pick just waste management. We have over 484 formal service providers providing collection and transportation services across the country. Number one. We have over 4,000 to between 4,000 to 5,000 informal operators doing collection and transport as well.
Wow.
When we come to treatment and final disposal, I can name numerous facilities. We have landfills, we have integrated recycling compost plants, we have some MRFs, we have material recovery facilities, we have transfer stations, and all these facilities are capital intensive, they are long term, and they are technically complex.
Wow.
So that is it. Now let's go to the financial flows. There is a lot of financial commitment even on the part of government. And so maybe let me come to how the system currently operates or it flows. So the collection and transport, let me deconstruct the collection and transport separate from the treatment and disposal. Now when you come to the collection and transport, you have the ministry setting the policy direction as usual. No regulator. You just come to the MMDAs who contract, then the service providers provide a service.
Wow.
And then now, even in terms of certification of work done, I mean, much can be desired. I don't want to go into that. And then you realize that the service providers who have been taxed to provide a service are the same entities taxed to go for the revenue mobilization. All right. So that is something we need to look at. When you come to the treatment and disposal, you have the ministry setting the policy direction, because the treatment and disposal are facilities that are very capital intensive, long term, like I mentioned. You have the ministry, you don't have any regulator. And you are dealing with huge, we are talking about huge sums of finances or value flowing through there. And there is no regulator. And what you should expect is that there will definitely be financial leakages. And so that is number one. You come to the next step, and it's not the MMDAs that are contracting, because a lot of these treatment and final disposal sites are transboundary in nature. And so if you have a landfill, even though it is situated in, let's say, Adenta Municipal, it is not only used by Adenta Municipal.
Yeah.
It will be used by multiple MMDAs.
Yeah.
And so, given their nature, because we don't have a regulator, it is forced to be absorbed under the work of the ministry. Then, the ministry now has to now come in and sign these contracts. And the ministry doesn't set service standards. That is the work of a regulator. And so the ministry somehow will have to be playing that role as well. And so, the long and short of it is there is a structural problem that we need some structural reforms to be able to help resolve these issues. Now, in terms of the partnerships,
that between the ministry at the top and the MMDAs, there's a big gap, a structural gap. And now that
one of them is the link between investment and income. Because I've been asking myself, for every waste that a household disposes of, whether they are using the informal approach or the formal approach, they pay for it. I didn't see that component of payment in the research report. So maybe we'll have to take account of that, and then we can zero in on what the levels of investment will necessarily be. We will take it as a committee and use it to foster further collaboration with ESA. You will appreciate that this report covered 2 districts, assemblies, and we have 261. Of course, it provides the snapshot that we get to know at a glance what is happening around our country. But we will have to work deeper and see whether it is representative enough, so that the more districts we cover, we can then have I think, a better picture of what the environment and the waste management situation is. So the committee will work very closely with ESA and explore ways of replicating this work in some more districts, so that we can provide a better picture. We will also look at a multi-sectoral approach to this. Waste management cannot be just for Ministry of Housing or local government. It's a multi-sectoral activity. We cannot do effective analysis without good data. The data that we use, the fidelity of the data must be assured. And so when my sister mentioned Rwanda, in Rwanda there is no household, not one, that is not captured on the database. And the households pay directly through Momo to the agency that provides the service of waste management. So no one is left out. In Ghana, Prof already mentioned it, one of the difficult things we have in this country is data. How many households do we have? How much waste they are generating? I'm not sure we can tell. We can always do an estimate. So if we have a system where households are properly captured and households are paying for disposal of waste, that will be at least half the path. Because if that payment goes into a fund, that fund can then be supported by whatever fund the government will set up so that we can have adequate data management, waste management. Parliament and the Sanitation Committee have been pushing for the restoration of the sanitation levy. I know our committee chairman is very passionate about that. And so we are going to, based on this report, continue to provide that push at the level of Parliament and at the level of policy to ensure that the fund is set up to help us manage waste properly. The heavy lifting aspect of the waste management already is being provided. I think about 90% of this is being done in the private sector. How are we working to bring them into a formal arrangement so that they can be targeted as a unit to work with? I think the Water and Sanitation Committee will look at how best we can help in terms of policy to sanitize this area. And Bernard, let me say, even as I sit here, the gentleman who picks the waste in my house, every day I negotiate payment. On the day that I have money to spare, maybe I don't grabble too much. On the days that I don't have money, I will wait and negotiate till he comes to the barest that I can pay. So we need to formalize these things.
Okay.
We need to know how much are we paying for waste disposal. It will help us in our own waste management efforts. The last thing I want to say, Bernard, is I know Prof touched on it a little bit, the education and the sensitization bit. I think that attitude, we need to work on that. We need to work on the attitude of the Ghanaian and how we manage waste. I mean, Rwanda, she mentioned it. Addis Ababa, you can't walk on the street and just litter. You are not allowed to. When you get to Kigali International Airport and you've wrapped your suitcase with that plastic thing that we do, they will make sure that you take it off before you exit the airport. So regulation and governance is also very important. That is where he has come in. So we will be using this report to drive this.
Please work on the sound.
Yeah, we will to drive this initiative so that we can have a holistic.
Thank you very much, Honorable Zuwera. Please put your hands together for her. I'd like to acknowledge a few more MPs who have come in, and we are really heartened by the multi-sectoral committees represented here. So I believe we have the chairperson of the Local Government Committee, Honorable Queensta Poku Asoya, MP for Agona East. Oh, you can say yeah. Thank you. I've also seen Honorable Amprechum, I think he's MP for Mampong. Amprechum, please put your hands together for him, a key member of the committee. I think I've seen MP for, is it Aqua? Yes, Akim Swedru, Akimoda, Achimda, yes, Akwesi Aqua. Please put your hands together for him. He was a former deputy minister. I'm working with my eyes, so forgive me. I'm sure there are more MPs I have not seen. Please forgive me. So we have about 5 committees in terms of all those who have come. So MPs, are you confirming to us that you are committing to a multi-committee effort to address the gap, he says? Because I think the biggest thing we've learned today from the gentleman from local government is that sanitation is the only sector that between policy and MMDA, there's no regulating agency. And I didn't know, I'm sure some people here didn't know, but a lot of them say they know. So there's a strong push in this room for some regulators within that space to regulate what happens and to enforce standards. Some have proposed, for example, a National Sanitation Authority. MP has also mentioned the need for a fund or some sort of financing to support the sector. Those are the 2 takeaways, Prof, I can take from the discussion so far. If there are any more, hold on, please. If there are any more suggestions stakeholders want our MPs to carry to Parliament, please, let's say that now. We've asked a lot of questions, but I've never seen a program where a lot of MPs from both sides have come for money and they are waiting. So I really want to advise the sector players, If you have any specific legislative emphasis you want to give to the MPs here, now that we have their attention, I'd like you to raise them now. At least we've mentioned the Sanitation Authority, and we've mentioned the need for a dedicated fund. Or, Mr. Is there any more you want? Because now they are here. They have their pen and paper writing. Please give him a mic.
So, just to seal it, the two biggest ask is the regulator. And, dedicated fund.
Dedicated fund.
And most importantly, what this will do is that money will now follow performance.
Very good.
And so that is the third part I just wanted to add to.
All right. Wow. This is amazing. Put your hands together for yourselves. Are there any final comments? Because I'm going to bring Professor Korte back to close us in terms of summarizing the key learnings. So let's do one last round of questions. Yes. Please come for the mics. We'll start with the Fugu middle. Yes, there's a Fugu with a hat. I'll end with you. Yes, I'll end with you. So we'll take the three on that table and take the rest. Yes, madam. Yes, madam, please. Yes, sir, you are on.
Thank you. And I recommend research team for this is not my first time of seeing this. I'm formerly called Joseph Awuye. But now Togbega Gadagbe, Paramount Chief of South Town, Agave Traditional Area. I have been in waste management since 1980.
Wow.
And have witnessed the start of waste management in Ghana. During that time, we have the Metro Public Health Department, who goes to hospitals quarterly to give reports from communicable diseases from the hospital to the waste management department to analyze what we do. But upon the implementation of the polluter pay system, that has died down because the assemblymen set tariffs for collection of the waste, which is so far below the operational cost. And this has rendered most of the service providers unproductive. And when the minister says there is a lot of waste going into the drains, these are some of the costs. Okay. People don't pay the right tariffs for collection. I was just called by the waste management engineer that there is waste at Makola. I operate from Agbogloshi, Okanshi, Katamanto, Makola. Formerly, we collect morning and evening. People don't pay. So I have changed the system to once a day collection, which is in the night. And even that, people don't pay. We work in the night. People close in the evenings. Who are you going to get to pay you? Yeah. You see, the engineer from the local government ministry said one of the problems is collection of the fees from the polluters.
All right.
So
thank you, Togbe.
Thank you.
We appreciate
I wish the ministry takes this seriously.
Thank you, sir. Madam, and then, sir, please give it to the, yes, next step. Madam, please.
Thank you very much. My name is Basilia Nanbigne from Executive Secretary of CONEWAS. So I acknowledge the 2 points that we raised because CONEWAS has started engaging government for a sanitation authority and fund since 2017.
Wow.
And so I'm happy that we have all brought it up again, and yes. I know this time it will work. What I would like to add is going down to the district level, we need to empower those who work there. And so most of the environmental health working there are still in units, and they need to be upgraded, just like one of the MPs said. So one ad I would like to also reference again is rising them or making them departments, especially those at the district level, getting them from units to department. I acknowledge that it was one of the calls from this current government to make them departments, and so I'm just bringing that up too, so that they can be capacitated to work well.
Thank you, Madam. Back to the table. Yes, please.
My name is Lydia Banfo, informal waste sector and Nkoso waste management as well.
Okay.
Please, I want to answer, Prof said something that the informal waste sector, they are very difficult to approach. Please, it's not that. Informal waste sector, we are a cooperative,
okay,
which some of the MMDAs recognize as, and some of them even giving out contracts to them to operate. I know my honorable boss is here, Ni Aboye, Adenta Municipality. They have given informal waste cooperative a contract which has been signed by the MMDAs. So that means that they have been recognized them. One, they have integrated them into the informal waste sector or the waste management activities in Adenta. The same as Medina also did.
Okay.
They gave them a contract.
Okay.
So it means that the informal waste sector, those who are registered as a cooperative, they are there.
All
and
right.
they are very reasonable also to cooperate with
right.
them. Because we have been several researchers, we have been working with several researchers
All right.
across. So please, Prof, we are always available.
All right, I need to
contact.
announce that
Thank
we
you.
are going off air at 1 o'clock, and it's 5 minutes to 1. So I think I'll take one last comment, and I want the conclusions to go on air. So please, we have many questions to ask, but we just have 5 minutes. So last question or last comment, then I'll come back to the stage. It's what? It's 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Thank
He
you,
already has the mic.
Wilson Awaiti, Divine Unity Company, member of ESPA.
All right.
ESPA people, we have one big issue.
Oh, Lord.
And I believe as our big men are here, they will take it up and do it for us.
Yes, please.
Tax, they should waive tax on the trucks that we import.
Waive tax on the trucks.
Yes. Because if they do that for us, we can import more trucks and
Thank
the
you.
trucks will be working.
It's
Then
a clear
we
point.
implement the 24-hour economy, we boom.
Thank you.
Thank
Give it-
you.
Thank you. Give it to the former deputy minister. Yes.
Yes, Bernard, we were all wondering why there hasn't been that gap filled between the policy and MMDAs. Maybe we should turn our eyes to the fact that for some time now we've had a big private sector player occupying that space. You understand? And so maybe it blinded all of us that
Yeah.
we needed a public
Yeah.
regulator. But that should let us applaud that big time private sector player that had occupied and held the fort all this while.
Thank you so much, sir. I want to yield to the panel, take a comment from Ministry of Local Government, and I'll give Prof the last word to summarize for us. So, sir.
Thank you, Bernard. So I almost missed this opportunity, but there is the part on enforcement by the MMDAs, which is currently constrained, has constrained the work being done, the enforcement work being done by the MMDAs, to the effect that when perpetrators are arraigned before courts of competent jurisdiction and fines are slapped on them, the fines are wholly paid into the consolidated fund. Pursuant to Article 176 of the 1992 Constitution,
I notice Prof is taking notes. He will come and close us. If he misses anything, I may add it. So, Prof, you started us with the presentation, and you've heard all these comments, and it's like we are arriving on about 3 or 4 big things to take out. I'd like you to give us your closing thoughts and the way forward. Please put your hand up.
Seeing the evidence that it is proper we consider waste sanitation and waste management as a high-yielding sanitation and waste management as a high-yielding investment, that if we invest in, we're going to minimize cholera, minimize health. Every authority should find a way of generating some kind of IGF. So let's push this through. Let's have the structure to find out the willingness to pay, the polluter pay principle, how we can integrate that. Research is very important, and we all admit that we don't invest so much into research. Finally, we are going to disseminate the key findings. All the ideas that have come about, we're going to use that to refine our recommendations, and we're going to disseminate widely the key findings. But we don't end here. We are going to engage you further. I think if we can even have a quarterly or biannual roundtables like this to talk about the sector, it is very important so that we can together be able to address our needs. So on that note, Bernard, I want to thank everybody, the researchers, the honorable members of parliament who have spent all the time with us this period, and everybody present, my colleagues from ISA and other sister organizations, the support staff, and each and every one. Let us support the industry. Public-private partnership is key, just like it's done in other countries. We have private operators here, the big ones, the small ones. Let's fund waste and sanitation management. Let's engage the private sector so that it becomes a win-win situation for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think the ISA team led by Professor Kwoti deserve a big round of applause. Professor Ibo Texan and the others, Dr. Ajay Mante, fantastic job. There are a few summaries of the report that have been shared, but I'm sure you will put the QR code for scanning the report. You don't even need to print it out. So I don't know if it's a policy brief or more information, but you can scan the QR code or we'll send that to you because you wrote your email addresses. We'd like to say a big thank you as well to EFD Ghana, Prof. Akbalu and your team. Thank you for the support. And also the parliamentary committees. I mean, I've done this work for long. I've never seen a program that you have about 5 committees. Local government committee members, give me a wave. Local government committee, put your hands together for them. Sanitation and Environment and Water Resources Committee, where are they? Give them a round of applause. I think the Science and Technology Committee at some point. There was also Health Committee. Is it Health and Environment? And even Finance was supposed to be. Any Finance Committee members? Yes. So you can see at least 5. I'm sure I've missed some. So Parliament has been strongly represented. I want to say a big thank you to the ESPA and all its, how many? 400 members? How many are you? So all the environmental service providers, association companies, please give us a wave. Let's put hands together for them. Thank you very much. I'd like to also commend the civil society groups in the wash and environment sector, CONIWAS and all the, where are you? Give me a wave. Civil society groups. They've been shouting about this when there was no money and it was not sexy, before all of us came to join. So Patrick Apoya, the fighter, and all of you, have a good one. There's a strong group of media people who report on the sector. All right, where are the journalists? Where are you? Oh, they've gone. Congratulations on your work as well. 2 final announcements. We will replay this program in the course of the week so that you will see how beautiful and handsome you look on television. That's number 1. Number 2, we have snacks for those who are hungry and lunch as well. You pick a coupon if you want to eat from some of the attendants at the exit, so you can have some lunch and discuss further. We hope that this is not a 9-day wonder. Just like you do State of the Ghanaian Economy Report, if you can also do a 1 year, every year, State of Sanitation or whatever, I'm sure we can find the support to give it airtime. So Issa, please convene us again next year to see the progress made. Hopefully when we come, the Sanitation Authority will be the one sponsoring it. That would be wonderful. I'd like to call Dr. Ralph Amma, where is he, to do a quick closing prayer, and then we'll be on our way out. So, Doc, you have the floor. Thank you.
Let's pray. Lord, we thank you for the privilege to be alive and to participate in this event. We pray that all that we've heard would be implemented successfully. We ask that, Lord, you would open the way for us for things to be better than they are now. We thank you and honor you in Jesus' name. Amen.
So thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Energy and reconnect with your roots this March at the Back to Your Village Food Festival 2026. Join us for a celebration of Ghanaian culture and cuisine from all across the country. Northern, Akan, and Southern villages will all be represented. It's more than just food. It's about culture, family, and memories that last a lifetime. Let's come together this March to discover the flavors that make us who we are. The date is 28th and 29th of March 2026. Venue is the 847 Children's Park. The time is 10 a.m. through till 6 p.m. each day. Interested vendors can register by calling 0205-973-973. The Back to Your Village Food Festival is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 City FM.
Bestie, meet my lovely family.
We can do that whilst I'm seated and eating. Let me put on the food before we eat.
He will be here for days, and I only find out at a family dinner on the day that he arrives.
Morning, family.
Everything in the kitchen is actually gone.
You know, in the UK, I work like a donkey, but here, I eat like a monkey.
My noodles just vanished like a spirit had brunch.
He finished my slightly burnt oil rice.
Half a crate of eggs cannot just poof, disappear.
Good morning, all.
Lisa, have you by any chance gone to the kitchen?
Madam, unless the kitchen walks to me my sleep, we are didn't enter the kitchen.
If I die, won't you serve food at my funeral?
Hey! Heaven save us! Now what's
Bestie.
Away! Dad, I'm sure he's gone.
Good morning!
I thought you were gone.
The Blanksin family is here. The vibe is too much.
What does a boss who's built an image as a tough guy from Queens do when naysayers claimed he's reached his limits? To dispel doubts, he can, for instance, hold the floor for an hour and 47 minutes. In the longest ever State of the Union address, Donald Trump proving he can stick to script instead of rambling. Trump, combative as ever, bashing immigrants, Iran, the opposition Democrats, and the Supreme Court for last week's ruling striking down many of his tariffs. The biggest pushback yet for a president who's wielded historically grand executive power since returning to office 13 months ago. We'll ask about his plans to not only double down on tariffs, he says they can replace income tax, and to do without congressional approval. We'll weigh Trump's methods, his arguments, and asked about blurred lines between public policy and personal interest as a term-limited president approaches midterm elections that could further corner a leader whose mantra has always been attack, attack, attack. What will Trump do, and how is the rest of the world reading the moment? Today in the France 24 debate, we're talking about the headwinds facing Donald Trump. With us, Vivian Walt, Paris correspondent for Time magazine. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Pleased to welcome Sean Safford, Associate Professor of Economic Sociology at the French Political Science Institute, Sciences Po. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Francois.
And good to see from Washington, former U.S. federal prosecutor Eric Leeson. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Not so bad. If you're on the go, you can listen to the show wherever podcasts are streamed. Plenty of hyperbole and heckling on Capitol Hill Tuesday night. Donald Trump bragging about a new golden age while blasting Democrats for not standing when he called them to do so to protect American citizens, not